Hi and welcome to LawWiser. Today we will be discussing the most debatable cryptocurrency laws and how is it going to be introduced in India, what's the future, and to discuss all of this we have expert with us. We have Mr. Shashank Garg. He's the partner at Advani and Company. He's an expert in dispute resolution. Welcome Shashank. Thank you for taking time out for us. So Shashank, as to start this, we would want to know, India being one of the developing nations, initially it had imposed a ban on cryptocurrency, which then got later revoked by our, Supreme Court. So now, with the probability of this new bill being introduced, what are the changes that you see that are expected in this new bill?
Thank you for your question. So, just to begin with a little bit of introduction of what really happened in 2018. So 2018 was an RBI circular, which was later on struck down by Supreme Court while deciding a case filed by Internet Mobile Association of India versus RBI. So Supreme Court basically based its judgment on the factor of proportionality, that the ban that was imposed by RBI did not have the legal backing, did not have adequate reasons, has not accounted for huge investments, etc., of the stakeholders, and therefore it was not proportional. Now what we have is obviously an outburst and a follow-up of that decision. I don't know if the viewers would recall, even Raghuram Rajan, when he was RBI governor way back in 2013 and 14, had indicated that he feels that cryptocurrency is not a stable method of transaction and had raised doubts back then. Then our finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, also said that the government is not going to back cryptocurrency. So that same stand continues. Even in 2019, what we are hearing, the bill that is likely to come now, we will see whether there is a blanket ban, whether there is a way out of it. But putting a blanket ban on cryptocurrencies would have adverse consequences for the economy. See, firms like Tesla, MasterCard, so many of them have now huge investments in cryptocurrencies. And if India as an economy decides to take a step back, then we will have, global challenges and significant financial losses also. See, in a very cryptic irony is, in a very cryptic way, what the bill has been summarized into is to create a facilitative framework for the creation of digital currency to be issued by RBI. Now, what is that digital currency? We're expecting something like CBDC, or the CBDC, central bank digital currency. It is also something that many other countries are thinking about, to start with their own digital currency and to have a legal framework for this digital currency. Whether the already existing digital currencies or cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Dash, any of these will get any sort of recognition is something that we will only see once the bill has been finalized. But if this happens, if the ban continues, or there is a complete blanket ban on cryptocurrency usage, we will see a lot of people who have invested in cryptocurrencies in India will have to transfer their cryptocurrencies to their relatives or friends in other countries where there is no ban, or maybe move it to self-custody wallets, which simply means investor could shift their crypto assets from an exchange custody to self-custody wallets. Now, all of this is a scary scenario for an investor who's already invested, not knowing the perils of how the government of India would react. So a lot is to be seen, but certainly a framework is coming in place which will pave path for at least the RBI regulated, rolled out digital currency. So we shall see what comes.
True. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you for actually sharing that background with our audience, for helping them understand, where it actually comes from and why the ban was being thought. Moving on further, as we all know, certain countries are actually legalizing cryptocurrency. So whether it is right to say that sooner or later, almost every country would be eventually legalizing it?
So taking my answer forward from the previous question, now, as I said, cryptocurrency, whether these banks in these countries are likely to legalize already existing cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and all, or whether they would set up their own cryptocurrency or digital currency and legalize that exchange is a question that is to be answered. To my mind, countries like India and China are more likely to pave path for CBDC and not already existing cryptocurrencies, because it has absolutely no legal backing of any central bank around the world. So conservative economies, although growing, but conservative economies may not find it feasible to back cryptocurrencies in the present format. However, I mean, there is obviously a lot of pay and play that is likely to happen, and the stakeholders must be consulted. But in near future, we will see there would be central banks of different nations which will roll out their digital currencies, and certainly those currencies will be considered as legal tender.
True. As we see that, it is also interesting to note that there's not much security behind this cryptocurrency, which you pointed out. One of the primary reasons why it's been debated that whether it should be banned or should be taken ahead. So, what do you think are the key provisions or the methods that government needs to bring for its security?
See, that's a very interesting question. I think a couple of things that are no-brainer and could easily be done would be to bring these transactions under the scope of PMLA, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act. See, Financial Action Task Force has recommended that digital asset service providers should be regulated under anti-money laundering laws. That has not been done yet. So entities engaging in buying or selling of crypto should be brought under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. That will take care of a lot of worries of the government. And these entities should be given a mandate to keep records of all transactions, identify and verify the client. So if there is any difficulty, one of the greatest challenges that India faces, that it has that speculation that these currencies could be used for illegal transactions, funding of terrorist organization, etc. So if there is a method to identify and verify the clients and there is a record of transaction, that fear may then be allayed. So that's one. The second method could be that digital asset exchanges should come under the purview of SEBI. SEBI is already doing great work and has been one of the master regulators paving path for all the security exchanges. So the definition of SEBI Act could be amended to include dealings of cryptocurrency. Digital asset exchanges can be made to consider as a platform providing services. So they could be made to pay GST also. So that could be one way to earn revenue out of digital asset exchange. And again, they would be under the aegis of SEBI. So if these couple of legal mechanisms can be implemented, I think the risk would be reduced substantially.
Thank you, Sushant. I kind of quite agree with what suggestions you have also shared with us. Like recently, I think Ministry of Corporate Affairs did introduce something where people have to now disclose their cryptocurrency. The companies have to, disclose all the information relating to that. So, it's going step by step, but what do you think would be one of the best ways to implement cryptocurrency, considering we really don't have any precedent when it comes to its regulation? If you can share this as well.
Right. Yeah. As I said in the beginning also, first and the foremost thing is to consult with the industry experts, academicians, stakeholders, lawyers, etc. Right now, government, obviously, I'm not saying the government doesn't have experts, but most of these, new age, technologically advanced things require greater consultation. There are people who may have some value addition. So first of all, government must consult with stakeholders while this, while we are still in the drafting stage of this bill. Thereafter, I think a detailed SWOT analysis should be undertaken by the government to understand the implications of introducing the law. While doing so, government must not take away the rights of people, because I was reading an article, I think almost 60 lakh to 1 crore. There is no accurate figure, but between this is the number of people who have already invested, and the investment is over 10,000 crores in cryptocurrency from India itself. So if you take away the rights of people who at the relevant point of time had not done anything illegal, then we are looking at something that may result into constitutional crisis. The bill may be challenged, and then Supreme Court again will have to look into it in greater detail. So a very balanced mechanism, I think, has to be adopted. I think we can learn a lesson from countries like Sweden, South Korea. They've already launched their CBDC as a pilot test for a certain time to analyze its effects. We can also initially launch a pilot project for a certain time, and thereafter, depending upon the response received and consequences, we can a final decision can be taken. See, it should not be something like what we had recalling the currency, which happened a few years ago, where the denomination of 1,500 had become illegal tender. So instead of doing that in one go, if we do it more like a pilot test, take the experience of neighboring countries who have already achieved some sort of advanced mechanism to implement and regulate this, there is obviously an easy way forward and a possible way to still go ahead with existence of bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies which are popular amongst investors across the world.
Thank you, Shashank. Actually, this really helps our audience in understanding, the background about cryptocurrency and what could be the best ways to implement it. Any closing remarks that you have, Shashank?
So my closing remarks would be: people who have already invested in cryptocurrency, bitcoins, etc., should not get worried. Certainly, the government is likely to regulate, but that regulation will pave path for anybody who holds cryptocurrency. There is a speculation that there would be a rollout time of 6 to 8 months for anybody holding that money to liquidate, and even otherwise, other various mechanisms would be, given out to people who have invested in the cryptocurrency. So there is nothing to worry. But before the bill gets finalized, I would give a suggestion to any prospective investor to hold on before investing further. Those who have already invested, there will be a way out. The government will obviously take care of any such investments, but do not go on investing till the picture is clearer. That's all.
Thank you, Shashank. Very well said. Actually, people should be more careful of what is coming up and accordingly think about investing in cryptocurrency. Thank you so much, Shashank. Thank you for taking the time out for that.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.